What's the best choice when you have to deploy your SMD? Definitely not a reel, because there is a frame and they can get jammed. Even this one can get jammed. So we go down to spools. Spools with a small hole. There is much less line than on a reel, but at least it doesn't jam, but you can get your fingers stuck in it if you are not careful while you stick your fingers. So there is the spool with a big hole for the gloves. It doesn't get jammed, you don't get your fingers stuck, but you cannot put much line in. Look at this. This is a side spool. It doesn't get jammed, has no frame. You don't risk to get your fingers stuck anywhere, and it can hold a bunch of line. This is like 50 meters. So that's my choice.
Diving tip, jungle edition. Always make sure that there are no scorpions or other shit sleeping in your boots. Don't ask me how I know it.
When you put together a piece of bungee or piece of cord and you don't want it to look like a piece of crap, you can cover it with a sleeve of heat shrinking tube, and this is gonna look like this, which is way fancier, and it's also gonna last longer because, you know, it's protected, so it's not gonna fall apart like that. Now, you have to put this before you make the knot, but yeah, I mean, before you close it, you know. Probably you have a hair dryer at home, because I don't know if you have a heat pistol, okay? And the hair dryer might not be enough to shrink this stuff. You might also have to use a lighter, but careful not to set it on fire. Don't ask me how I know it. And there you go. Look, super nice.
When I go cave diving and have a super long pigtail for compensating for other things that are not very long, so I can make a note in my pigtail to separate the markers, so it's a little bit more organized. And well, I'm not the only diver who does that, but I just want to share this with you, so try.
In most of my dives, I write a lot of stuff on my weight note, and I prefer to have the weight note rather than the wrist blade. I also don't really like to have the pencil attached to the weight note. Personally, I prefer to have it attached on my wrist. In this case, it's integrated with my compass and is like this. You see? I find it much more comfortable than having attached to this one. Or anyway, this can also be the place for a backup pencil, because if you're going for survey, for example, well, you're not going to use a compass like this, but you can have a backup pencil, one on the slate and another one with a loop on your wrist, for example. Easy to reach. Among all the crap that I carry in my sidemount pouch, I also have the infamous Ninja Star, this thing. Now, I don't know you, but for me it's really difficult to get a good grip without destroying my hands when I try to twist it to remove a hose. I tried to use a double ender to make leverage, but it didn't work great. What it works for though is that if I just put it like this and I wrap my hand around it, well, this already helps me to get a better grip without curving this tool into my hands, you know? So it makes everything a little bit less annoying. That's it, now you can try. We all carry line cutters such as trilobites, scissors, okay, and that's great. I love them. Probably never gonna use them, but I love them. Now, as a backup cutting tool, I actually prefer to have a knife, not another one of these. An actual knife, because this is a multi-tool. I can use it for hammer, I can use it as a lever, not just for cutting or stabbing sea monsters, okay, which, you know, that can always happen. Well, that's it, that's my recommendation. Carry a medium, small size knife. Now go to play.
So today I want to show you how to properly hold a side reel, because I noticed many divers, including my students, struggling because when they recover the line, they hold it from the handle, and doing like this, it's a very hard work for the wrist, okay? So this is what I learned from my instructor when I bought this the first time. Hold it, when you're recovering the line, you have to hold it from the frame, so not inside here, but here, you see? On the frame, like this. Like if this hole doesn't exist right now for you, okay? It's here, it stays with the thumb here, and it's much more stable than if I have it here, okay? So you save a lot of energy, and you can make sure that you can recover the line, balancing from the left to the right side to fill it up properly without doing too much wiggling, as it would happen if you hold it from here, okay? So look again, here and here, it's much more efficient. When you retrieve the line of your reel, make sure to maintain it in tension. So don't do this very common mistake of swimming while reeling up. On the other hand, what you should do is fish yourself out, yeah? Reel yourself out without swimming. You almost don't need to swim, you just pull yourself out, and this is always in tension, and you avoid entanglement, and most importantly, you avoid that you can jam your reel, okay? Good luck.
Here, where I have the D-ring on my left shoulder strap, I added another small D-ring, which I use when I have a bunch of stages hanging from this D-ring. I can clip my pigtail, I can clip my weight note here on the side, because basically I don't want them to go in between the stages. Here they are within reach, out of the way, very, very comfortable. Now, this little D-ring is just attached with a piece of paracord. This is wrapped around, goes inside here between the D-ring and the slider, and has a little stop knot here at the end. So it's flexible, it doesn't push against my chest, risking to damage the suit or bothering me. And if I want to remove it one day, I just undo this knot and pull it out. I started to place the camera on my helmet upside down, because like this, when I flip it down, I can actually see what I'm recording, because if it is here on my forehead, I have no idea of the quality of my shot. Now, if it is in front of my face, of course, I can really focus on what I'm watching, but I have a very clear idea of what fits in the frame, especially if I want to film something that I'm doing with my hands. And I can also see the red dot that said that it's recording, and if I really squeeze my eyes trying to focus on the screen, I can even read since how many seconds I'm recording. So, it really works. Give it a try, maybe you like it.
Today I want to show you the routing of the cable of my light. I want my cable to be protected under my equipment, but I also want to be able to know what happens to the wall length from the head to the canister. Let's start from the canister. The cable goes under my waist strap, under the bungee that retains the wing, and here in the front is under my inflator. Now my inflator is not only retained here, it's also retained here, so the cable cannot escape. And if I have to drop the light, or if it drops from my helmet, it only hangs from here and I can pick it up right away.